They're like, we're too smart for that.
You're not giving you a degree from MIT.
Pleasure to bring you two the incredibly talented stars from the movie Suburbicon, Julianne Moore, Matt Damon. Now, I didn't get a chance to see this movie, but apparently you're a secret agent with amnesia and you have Alzheimer's.
Oh, you like that?
Great.
That's
really
it.
good.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
What is it like to be under the tutelage of George Clooney? I mean, how specific as a director is he?
He's very specific, which is helpful because you always want to do the opposite of what he says.
That's right.
So the more specific he is, the more I have an idea of what not to do.
Exactly.
And that's how I kind of start to build the performance.
But these are two performances that when you, I don't want to give too much away to the audience, but these are people that, let's say, are the nicest or the friendliest people that you want to have in your life.
Well, I mean, that's a matter of opinion.
Exactly. I think they're pretty friendly.
I think they're fantastic.
But does it, as an actor, is it more interesting to have that kind of edge that you're not your protagonist but an antagonist?
It's interesting. It's interesting to play anybody who's complicated. You know, I mean, I think you don't want to play. No one wants to play an archetype. You know, especially not if you're just like, I'm the good guy, I'm the bad guy. You know, people are not that way. There are lots of elements to them. So if you get to play a complicated human being, especially someone who's tripped up by their own desires, I think that's incredibly interesting.
Yeah, nobody sees themselves as bad, and so they don't see themselves as bad or mean or cruel. Their actions are perfectly reasonable to them, and that's fun, you know.
Yeah.
I brought up Jason Bourne earlier, kind of as a joke, but still in that movie you were required to do some impressive driving, your skill set, stunts. But that bike riding in this movie, I think that might up your game.
Thank you, and if you wouldn't mind, Scott, maybe putting my bike riding up against the car driving, just so people can see how good I am on a bike. Because I did some motorcycle riding in the last one, but I think that's actually George did confide in me that was one of the reasons he hired me, because he didn't have to spend money on a stuntman because I did all the bike riding myself.
Yeah. What I really loved about this movie is kind of the smoke and mirror effect, that we're so busy looking at something in the left hand that we're not watching what's in the right hand. And the right hand is what's more dangerous.
Yeah.
What's that commentary saying about us as a society? Because it's very specific to what's happening today.
Yeah. Well, in the movie, an African American family moves into this all-white neighborhood, and the white people completely freak out, and so. It's like the epitome of white privilege. Like, while I'm covered in blood and riding around the neighborhood on a bike murdering people, everybody's paying attention to this wonderful African-American family that didn't do anything to anybody, and they're all rioting outside their house, and I'm kind of hiding in plain sight.
And just last question, what is your relationship to suburbia? Are you city people, or do you like the advantages of suburban?
I'm a city person, but I think wherever you, I think whatever you choose, I think people are always, we talk about this, what's the ideal life? I think an ideal life is a place where you are able to be happy with your family and have a community and have access to things that are interesting to you. But for me personally, I also think an ideal community is one that's diverse, one that's interesting, and one where you don't feel like you're kind of like in little segregated areas.